Ashley Kwan Chek Chong.
Having a degree, you said, and doing a second degree, how much did that cost you all in all, do you know?
So I'm probably like 80 grand.
80 grand.
So I had a police job lined up.
Wait, police, you said? This concludes this interview.
So 3 or 4 months went by and I was on everything, but I didn't see any movement, any success. I had not made any money, but there was just something missing. Like there was something missing within that course.
This is a mentor you had before me. And how long after the training was it before you actually made any money? That's what people are going to want to know at home. What would you say to anybody at home who's watching, who's considering getting involved?
Definitely pick up the phone and call Kieran.
Hey everyone, I'm Kieran Connolly and I'm joined here by Ashley Chong from Quack Sourcing. Ashley did my course back in February and has had fantastic success since then. So I thought it only right to invite him here to our YouTube channel to share his story with you guys and elaborate on how his journey's been, how he's found his success, his newfound success in sourcing, in property investing. So Ash, where would you like to start, man? I mean, how have you found it so far? What's been going on? Ups, downs? Talk to us.
I think it's going great right now, It started really hard at the beginning, but towards the end of everything, or now, it's just, going better and better and just climbing and scaling. Really, that's how it is.
You said it was hard in the beginning, and I get that. I try to make a point to say to everyone, this is not passive income, it's good income, and we'll get to talking about Ash's income in a little bit. That's my favourite part. But it's certainly not passive. I know it would help me sell more course bases if I did say it's passive income. It's absolutely not. We'll elaborate a little bit on how hard it's been, but just on that note of not being passive, what sort of hours would you say you're putting in?
Yeah, so really, I'm putting in like 16 to 20 hours every single day on just, the sourcing, managing my properties, just everything overall. It's just a lot of hours that you need to put in. And it's just hard as well, like in terms of like what you need to do, the A to Z, everything. It's a bit difficult, but the more you do it, you practice and you get better at it. So that's how I saw it. So it's just really just honing in on my skills, really.
Agreed. Yeah. It's like with anything, I suppose. I mean, when you first start driving, you're a bit shaky. Now you get in the car and you just go, don't you? But I don't like, Josh is laughing behind the camera. Josh just bought a 25 plate Audi, and if you see it, you'd think it was a 15 plate, the damage is put on it. I think he paid for his license, I'm not sure. But yeah, it certainly is quite hard in the beginning. I mean, as you get going, if you know the best practices for how to protect yourself and how to put your investors' best interest first, that certainly helps. But what I've delivered to you is theory. There's no teacher as good as experience. When I've set you on the right path, you go off and do it. Having been taught the best way certainly helps, but there's nothing that's going to help as good as rolling your sleeves up and getting amongst it. When you say 16 to 18 hour days, 16 to 20 hour days, I think you said, people are going to find that hard to believe, but you've got to enjoy what you're doing to put those sort of hours in, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I do enjoy it, from the beginning, from just speaking to clients, speaking to a lot of people. Just networking in general is such a good, way to socialize, because my social life now is just business at the end of the day. I don't really speak to my friends anymore. It's all, they're all business partners or they're, within the network, and we just help each other and we just network and just, have fun at the same time, which is really good. I like that aspect of the business. Have
you tried? You mentioned friends. I've found the same thing and I hear that a lot. Have you tried to get friends from like the outside world involved with this stuff?
Yeah, it's hard, definitely, because they don't understand the 9 to 5, like matrix and everything like that. So for me to, actually initiate it and say, okay, this is how much I'm earning to my friends and family, they're a bit like, oh, I don't believe you. And they like kind of like feel like I'm just telling them something, or I'm just like go on this for my own like gain and everything. But yeah, they don't really follow. Even though I've showed the numbers and everything like that, they seem to they say, I'm comfortable in my 9 to 5, I like the office job, I like working in Tesco's, and yeah, I'm gonna have fun on a weekend, go out, go to the pub or watch a movie or something like that.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I've not even watched a movie for, I don't know, since last year now, since I've been in the property industry. It's just honing in on my craft and just, like I said, just getting better and being the best version of me.
That's a good way to be, bro, yeah. I often promote that sort of behaviour, like not watching movies. Forget what series you're watching on Netflix. GTA 6 is coming out and all this nonsense. Listen, forget what... probably going to buy it, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to buy it. But overall, you should be sacrificing all that time you spend on entertainment and stuff. This is more for the people watching. If you want to run a successful business, that's what it takes, man. It's not about cutting people off, but the thing that holds people back a lot of the time is the environment. I was around people who still smoked weed, who still wanted to do fuckery, you know, and now most of them are in jail. It's a sad story, but it's the truth. I always want to keep it 100 and be genuine and be honest with you. I tried when I was first getting going with this to bring everybody in. Hey, I found this great way to make money. Come and have a go. And it was hard to get people to even entertain a conversation about it. They just didn't want to know. It was kind of sad. So, you know, not purposefully, but it sort of starts to happen that your circle changes. You're around more inspiring, motivational people. And then, yeah, every waking hour, every conversation you're having is just business orientated, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
It's just like, you know, when I first went to university, you know, I had a bunch of friends, you know, I was the popular kid, and then I went to do another university degree, and then that's when I realized that, you know, this isn't for me, you know. I was very academic. My parents always forced me to go academics, you know, be a doctor, be a surgeon, be one of those people who earn a lot of money. But now, you know, seeing real money, it's like, you know, compared to that, you can't compare.
Yeah. We make more than doctors, which is crazy. But you got to think, you know, a doctor is probably the top tier of 9 to 5 earning. Business people are making a lot more than that. Entrepreneurs, business owners are making a lot more. If you see someone with 2 or 3 nice cars and nice things, they're probably an entrepreneur, probably a business owner. All this stuff, this equipment we're talking on now, probably $2,000 worth of equipment, it's all tax deductible. If you're a doctor on a salary and you just want this stuff, you got to just pay and that's it. You paid, it comes out your money, it comes out your wages. It's not deductible, it's a con, man. It's a con, it's an absolute con. There's so many benefits to having a business over a 9 to 5. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so your parents encourage you to be academic. I did notice you learnt quite well on the course. Yeah. I did notice you took it all in, you absorbed it all very, very well. I remember that. And you didn't mess about at all when it comes to signing up. Some people, they want to ask a few questions, and that's fine. There's a bit of back and forward. I tried to like give you a bit of a, not quite a sales pitch, but let you know what's coming. And he was like, hey, dude, shut up. I'm in, just send me the bank details. And I always admire that, the people who are willing to take a risk. And because it is a risk to some degree, because you didn't really know what you're going to get taught. I'm quite secretive about what I teach, to be honest. So you don't really know what you're getting. And I think that could scare a lot of people because it could be disastrous. To me, the disaster is not taking a risk, bro, because you wouldn't be here now if you hadn't took that risk. Having a degree, you said, and doing a second degree, how much did that cost you all in all, do you know?
So I'm probably in like 80 grand.
80 grand?
Total in what I need to owe.
Yeah, but you only have to pay that when you take a certain amount of salary out, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Now the Torah says pay your debts, so I can't advise you to mess around and not pay your debts. But I wouldn't worry about it. You know, 80k for a 9 to 5 guy is a lot of money. You know now that's easily achievable. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Are you going to rush to pay it off or just do the minimum or?
I'm going to slowly pay it off eventually, but I'll just hold on for now. And
there's no rush, there's no panic. At the end of the day, bro, even if you don't work in the fields that you studied, it's certainly done a lot for your discipline and who you are as a man and the network you've been around and all that sort of stuff.
Definitely, because I started from at university, I was just drinking every single day. I was doing all these things that people do at university, and then when I found out, that the corporate world, the 9 to 5 wasn't for me, I started just honing in on my self-development. So that's like going to the gym every single day, journaling, doing my Duolingo and everything like that. So just little things, little habits here and there really just helps me start the day well. So I wake up at like 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. every single day without fail. And from there on, I just continue to just get that momentum building. So by 9 a.m., I've got everything, all my chores done. I've done my cleaning, I've groomed and everything like that. So then it's just 9 o'clock, I get to work, 9 o'clock till how long, or what I need to do. Because my to-do list is very long in the beginning. And then towards the end of the day, I've done it all, I've accomplished. And after I finish that to-do, I find more to-dos. Because I don't really like the fact that I'm resting. I feel like I'm, let's say, weak. If I'm resting, other people, all my other competitors, they're winning. So I want to keep on at it and just keep on winning at the end of the day. That's how I like to see life.
I like that, bro. I like that. Keep adding to your to-do list. I don't think I've ever completed all of mine. I'll keep stuff. You just add stuff to it, don't you? Even if it's something like study marketing a little bit more. I think my marketing's trash, to be honest. So I put a lot of energy lately into studying marketing, but I know what you mean about the competitors have an advantage, and that's certainly when the money bugs bit you. When you've made a few quid and you said, hold on, this is real. I'd be in the shower panicking, bro. Like washing as quick as I could, like I could get back to work. I'd be taking calls in the shower and all sorts, like it's crazy. So after your uni, what did you do before this?
Yeah, so after uni, I went for a master's in London, and I worked part-time as a barista. And that's when I realized that the 9 to 5 was, it was horrific, because I had a uni going on, my master's, which was in marketing. And then I had a barista job, and also on the weekends I used to have a Chinese restaurant job as well. So I was thinking, putting the hours in a normal 9 to 5 or in the job, and that's how you make your money. But every week I used to go out and spend all that money, going out to the clubs, going out to the bars, and then just at the end of the month I'm left with nothing. So that's when I started figuring out, looking for a way out. And people see all these advertisements on, okay, make money in this week, you can make 10K in a month. So I was looking at different aspects of property, because my parents own property in the background. So they kind of forced me into, let's say, another mentor, which was really really good. And then I went to their one.
This is a mentor you had before me?
This is a mentor before you. So I went with not a couple, but I went with one, just because he was the biggest and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, he's really good, but there was just something missing. There was something missing within that course. So 3 or 4 months went by, and I was on everything, but I didn't see any movement, any success. I had not made any money. I've only networked, and my only thing that I've done in the last 4 months was just the network. Until my parents kind of told me, you need to start earning money. So I had a police job lined up in December.
Wait, police, you said?
Police.
This concludes this interview. I don't know why I did that, right? Yeah, you had a police job lined up for September?
It was November.
This coming November?
Last November.
Okay.
So it was last November. I joined a mentorship in July. So July to September, October, November, I didn't really see any success. So I forced myself to move to London to work for the Metropolitan Police, and go on training for a few months. And then after then, I was just doing shift work, 1 week it was 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and the week after it was 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. So, that every week, along with doing your side hustle, which was property, it's just very difficult to balance. And that's when I needed more help and assistance.
That's when you came to my course then?
Yeah. So it was after Christmas that I realized, after, you have a little break after Christmas during work. You go back to work, and on the first day, I think it was January 10th, that I went back to work, that I was like, I'm out of here, I sacked myself up, I went all the way up to HR and I said, I'm leaving, I'm done. And then same day, I spoke to yourself, because Marcus Chong.
Big up Marcus Chong. Big up Marcus Chong, yeah, man.
He's a very good friend of mine, and he told me that,
And Gadir, sorry.
And Gadir. He followed another trainer, which is that helped him, and he was seeing more success than me at the time. So I was like, okay, what can I do? So same day, I packed in my 9 to 5 police job, and I joined your course straight away on the dot, on the first call.
So that day I spoke to you was the day that you quit? Yeah. I think I remember you saying, I remember there was an energy to you that was dude, I've got to I feel like if it was an in-person conversation, he'd have had his hands around my throat. It was look, this needs to fucking work. This needs to work. And I was like, bro, okay, it will work. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about it. It's shut up, just take my money, just make sure it works. And I was like, okay, bro. And we made it work, very polite, of course, always very polite, Ashley. And, prides himself on his good manners. Marcus Chong, though, did the course a little bit before you, also quit the sort of university route. So very similar story to yourself, and he recommended you to come over to me. He'd had the same previous mentor. I think he said similar things too, that he appreciated the network there. But then when it comes down to the curriculum, the nitty gritty and the handheld intricacies that can arise, he preferred my techniques and stuff, which I'm very grateful for. What would you say along your journey, other than the initial week?
Yeah.
What would you say has been my biggest use to you, other than the initial week we spent together, along the last few months? How have I been useful, if at all?
Yeah. I mean, the training was really good for that whole week. But afterwards, the mentorship, the one-to-one, that's when it outcompetes everyone else. Straight away after the week finished, I hit the phones, I called landlords, I called estate agents, everything. And, I was having troubles with objections and stuff like that. Straight away, I picked up the call to yourself, and then you picked up the call within seconds, and you just helped me script this, script that, how to say this, how to say that better, use certain skills to make my own script better, and how to answer questions from a landlord or from an agent. So, and even from an investor as well, you just teaching me like the A to Z blueprint of like property sourcing. At the beginning, I didn't know how to, sell a deal. I never sold a deal before on a previous course, but after selling, going on your course, I had that mentorship, and it really just helped me hone in on my skill to sell deals, on a monthly basis, which is really good.
Oh, I'm super proud, bro. Super proud of you, man. I'm glad that I've been able to be a part of that. It's a really cool thing, selling deals. It's like, we sell money, bro. I said it on an Instagram reel before, but it's like, because I used to say, I sell information. I used to say, this is so strange, I sell information. We sell money. Someone gives you a couple of grand, and then they make a couple of grand then every month for the next 3 years. It's great. So it's a great thing to be able to sell money, eh? So I'm really glad to have been part of helping you sell your first deal, and I'm glad that I was helpful along the way. How much would you say you've made since the beginning? You started in February.
Yeah.
But now in September. So February, it was mid-Feb, the course ended. So let's count it anyway. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So it's been 8 months. Shouldn't really count Feb, so call it 7 months.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get going in the beginning? Were you selling deals right out the gate, or?
No, it was really difficult at first.
You did say, actually,
difficult. Like, trying to get to works on like what contracts to use, what to say, what to sell to an investor. Is it a good deal? Is it a bad deal? Always going to you, and especially talking to Tash, solicitor on the power team. It's just amazing, going through the nitty gritty on the actual contract, on the clauses, on what needs to be, in the clause, out the clause, what's really important. Because sometimes, you go to an agent and you go through the stage with investor likes it, but then the agent shows you a contract, and then you look at certain clauses and it's like, that doesn't make sense. That's not really fair. So that's why, I have Tash to go through every single contract that I sell, if they use the agent's contract, and she kind of just notices, any red flags, you can say. That's helped us and helped my investors 100%. Fantastic, man. I'm glad to hear that. Big up Tash as well.
Tash is going to help any of my students. Tash will be there to help them. She got a first in her bachelor's and distinction in her master's covering contract law and property law. So anything to do with any contracts or negotiations, if you're suing someone or someone suing you, God forbid, or you need a contract reviewed or any sort of documentation. We've even helped people with stuff outside of property many times, to be honest. And we're just very grateful to be in a position to be able to help people with things of this sort of magnitude. So there's a zeal that we have for helping people, and I feel like adding value just brings more rewards and more blessings to you, I found, So very grateful to be able to help, and I'm sure Tash will appreciate your kind words. So in the beginning, you were struggling a little bit with all that sort of stuff. When it started rolling for you, can you remember how much you made in like your first month?
First month.
And how long after the training was it before you actually made any money? That's what people are going to want to know at home.
So I did the course in February. February, and then I made my first deal. I sold my first deal in April. In April, mid-April. Okay.
So that's like 2 months, because we're talking, the course ended mid-Feb to mid-March to mid-April. Yeah, that's 2 months.
Yeah.
So you made your first deal then. And then since then, how much have you been making every month?
Since then, it would be around 10 to 15.
10 to 15K a month?
10 to 15K.
Now, imagine that's what your parents wanted you to go and be as a doctor.
Yeah.
That's like surgeon money. So 10 to 15 grand a month, that's a nice amount of money, man. It's a nice amount of money, especially to be achieving that within, 6 months of active work since doing the training. Again, it's something I'm very proud of, and thank God as well for me being in a position to be able to help people and help them achieve numbers like that, Baruch Hashem. I have to say though, it's very interesting that that's like over a surgeon's salary, bro. That's over a doctor's salary. I feel like a business, I heard a statistic before, actually. They said that 90% of millionaires are millionaires through investing, business and property. Our business is invested in property. We're ticking all the boxes. And when you're hitting them sorts of numbers, you're surefire set to grow and scale to, God willing, soon, bro, you'll be calling me saying, I've had a 6-figure month. That's what would excite me, bro. If you call me and say you've done £100,000 in a month, and I don't care whether it's across sourcing and the properties that you manage and whatever else, just when you make 100 grand in a month, I want to know. That's a nice feeling. That's a doctor's annual salary in a month, But 15K is top tier. That's gold standard. for sourcing. And I have to say this about Ash, for any potential investors watching, we'll put his details in the comments and in the description and all that if you want to get hold of him. The questions Ash has asked me in regards to things he's wanted further mentoring on have always been on a sort of ethical, delivering more value. Like, I push on the training, putting investors' best interests first. And it's very clear that Ash does that, because nearly every question, like 90% of the questions he asks is how to get this term agreed better for the investor, how to reduce deposit, landlord's been difficult in this way, how can we sway this or sway that? It's all about adding more value. We don't just take a sourcing fee and leave you to it. We do the best we can at the back end to make sure you're getting the best terms agreed and getting the best deals. And Ash is certainly the gold standard of doing that. So having made 10 to 15 grand a month for the last couple of months, let me just do some quick maths. So you said 8 months, 10 grand a month. You know, let's take off a month or two for slowness. I think you said that it took you 2 months, to actually get rolling. So you've made about 50, 60 grand, around about that. That's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money. So, you know, you'll be on a 6-figure salary by the end of the year. Okay, so how many properties are you actually managing or running at the minute?
Yeah, so I have 8 units at the minute.
8 units? Yeah. Are they all yours or you're managing them?
They're all mine, yeah.
Wow, okay. Fair play, bro. And I know you got one in Wales.
I have 5 in Wales.
5 in Wales, who's taking over Wales. We never consider Wales, to be honest.
Now we've got Birmingham, London for Marcus, now we've got Wales.
Now we've got Wales, yeah. And you do management too?
I do everything.
You do management. So if anyone wants management in Wales, you want to buy a deal, that's one thing. You want management. This is your guy for Wales, he's got it boxed off. Do you know what I'm saying? And how much you charge for management, bro?
15%.
He said 15, we're going to say 20, go through me. Yeah. And what occupancy are your properties at the minute?
I'm averaging on 95.
95%. Now, I know this is normal to you now, bro, but a lot of people watching be like, bullshit, because they don't get taught the tactics of how to fill them. They get taught to get a house, put it in Airbnb, and hope for the best. That ain't what we do. That ain't what we do. We got special tactics to make sure the houses stay full. 95% average across the board. Liam, what's my portfolio at the minute? Liam manages my houses. 100%. 100% occupancy. 100%. Josh, what are yours at? 100%. 100%. We're lucky, we're in one of our units at the minute that we're lucky we're even able to use this place. This is one that we manage for somebody else, which is very high occupancy all the time. We're lucky we're able to get this day today to record in here. Otherwise I'd had to book someone else's place, which we've had to do in the past. Book other people's Airbnbs to record. We just need a house for a few hours. It's crazy. So getting a unit agreed is one thing. Understanding all the intricacies behind the scenes is another. Then getting it agreed with all the intricacies behind the scenes in place, and then getting it booked out is another. Dealing with guests, there's a lot that goes on. Like you said, Ash, it's quite hard. What would you say has been the hardest thing so far? What's the biggest nightmare you've had?
I think it's just managing everything. When you get one property, it's fun, you know, it's easy to manage. When you get your second, okay, it's a bit harder. But when you have 8, it's a bit difficult because, you know, there are leaks that happen, you know, you need to bring in maintenance every day. You know, something happens, maybe a guest, you know, wants a refund or a guest, you know, complains. There's so many things that goes on within management of, you know, Airbnb, but also on the side of sourcing as well, you know. You don't just, you know, sell your investor a deal. It's more about nurturing them because they'll buy another deal if the first deal is good. So it's like the whole journey, and so you're kind of hand-holding them throughout the whole journey, from sourcing the deal to negotiating terms to collecting the keys for them, and then also making the money for them as well. So if you're using management, my management service or Liam's, it's all about, you know, finding the right advertisement, direct bookings, just everything in general is a lot, because sometimes on some days you get nothing, everything's fine, but the next day everything goes, you know, you have 6 issues, 7 issues that you need to deal with in a day, and it's stressful, especially, and sometimes you just want to quit, you know. Some days I just want to, you know, drop it all, drop the keys, you know, go back to my 9 to 5 as a police officer. But at the end of it is rewarding, but it requires a lot of resilience, perseverance, discipline to really just, you know, handle everything on top of your social life, on top of your, you know...
What, you have a social life? Look at you, bro. I don't know what that even means anymore.
No, exactly. But yeah, also just, you know, self-improvement. I love that word. I love, you know, bettering myself every single day on top of the business, making money. It's all a good all-rounder, but, you know, some people are not cut out for it. You know, me at first it was very hard, you know, it was tedious, I wasn't seeing any growth, any movement. But once you see success, you use that momentum. Momentum's really important to actually to success in general. Because once I got my first unit, I sold a few deals, got my second unit, got my third unit, I took 2 units on at the same time, you know, and it's just spiraling now. And my fear is losing that momentum. So that's why I'm always on it every single day, 24 hours. When I wake up, I'm on my phone. When I go to sleep, you know, I check my notifications, I do everything. You know, it's hard at first, but, you know, it gets really, you become numb to it in a way. But it's like a fun type of numb. I know using like this type of, you know, platform property to actually make money is a blessing. But what I really, you know, care about really is, you know, the social media, the editing. So that's really come through for me. You know, at first I didn't really know how to post on Instagram, but now I'm posting on a regular basis, which is, you know, what I'm passionate about personally. Like I do a few editing reels and YouTube videos for a few clients. So that's helped me, you know, get to what I want to do.
I've noticed your Instagram quality, the content is really high quality, really, really good. I thought you were hiring someone for that. You do that yourself, yeah?
Yeah, I do it all myself.
And you, like, people pay you to do that too?
Exactly,
I can see why they would pay, yeah, it's really good. We'll have to have a word with you after this. Maybe you could edit this video, we'll see. And you know you'll do your best work when it's your own video as well, do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I bet you put your heart into it, whether it's for you or whether it's for someone else. I've seen how you work, bro, and it's a surefire way to success, man, to keep working the way you are. It's funny, because I asked you a minute ago, what was the biggest nightmare? And you did start on that, but then you turned into how much you love it. And I think that's a thing that people probably won't understand if they work a regular 9 to 5. Because when you hear us saying we're working 16-hour, 20-hour days, you'd think that's a nightmare. But when you're working on something for yourself, that you're responsible for, that you own, that you're watching grow and snowball, and you feel the momentum. You don't feel momentum in a job. But when you've started a business and you see 5 grand a month, 11 grand a month, 17 grand a month, you're like, oh shit, hold on a minute. And the phone just keeps going. That's momentum, and it grows and it snowballs, and it's a beautiful feeling, man. You can't get that in a 9 to 5. That's why you'll put fucking 20-hour days. People think, I've chilled out a little bit now with that 20-hour days shit. But I did like a year of 20-hour days, and it kicked the shit out of me, bro. I was sick frequently. Do you know what I mean? So this is not advice on how to get healthy. Show you how to get fucking wealthy, though. I'll tell you that. And it might be toxic, I don't know. You know, I don't know anything about work-life balance. We fucking laugh at that. Lunch breaks. It's hilarious, bro, the thought of a lunch break. I'll be on the phone scoffing something or eating at 10, 11 at night. And it's not good for you, but it's not that I'm suffering by doing that. I fucking love what I do, bro. I really, really enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy sourcing. I enjoy running the house. Even when there's leaks and problems, sitting down and facing a problem and finding a solution for it. I enjoy doing that. I really enjoy what I do here. So I think it's a beautiful business for anyone who's involved, really, whether you're more on the sourcing side, more on the management side, more on the teaching side. All around, we're selling money. What a fucking great thing to sell, money. You sell a deal, you're selling money. You bought my course, I'll give you information to make money. It's fucking crazy, man. Definitely beats a 9 to 5. Definitely. What would you say to anybody at home who's watching, who's considering getting involved?
Definitely pick up the phone and call Kieran.
One question for you here. What would you say, because I'll never get to see that side of things, as a student on my academy, what would you say it's like? Like, what's your perspective from your side of things?
I think personally, I think it's the group of friends that I've created within, you know, going to the February course. I met 20 people, but of those 20 people, I'd say, you know, 4 or 5 are really good friends of mine. And, you know, we talk every single day, we communicate, we brainstorm ideas on how to make more money, how to make things more efficiently, you know, done well in terms of sourcing and management and rent to rent, and just really just scaling together. You know, it's better to scale as a group rather than individually, because you don't really want to leave anyone behind. So, you know, I share my knowledge with everyone, you know, within my group and others as well. And it's just good, and it's rewarding to see everyone else win at the end of the day, because when you're with winners, you tend to win even more. That's how I see it.
That's a fact.
I like to follow people who are doing really good, doing better than me, but also people who are also, let's say, behind me. And we all bring each other up, and we just uplift each other. I like that aspect of the community. The community is is a main part for me now for like, you know, other than the mentorship and everything, but the community is just what glues me together, and, you know, the community events that you hold and everything like that, it's good.
Yeah, glad to hear it. Yeah, we work hard on that, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's surely a good thing. I remember you mentioned when you were staging a unit, a load of guys came from London to Wales. Who was it again who came?
It was Marcus. And
Marcus was there.
Tilak.
And Tilak. Yeah. So Tilak came. So Ashley had a unit in Wales, right?
Yeah.
In Wales. We had Tilak, shout out to Tilak, came all the way from Leicester. Marcus and Gadia and loads of other guys from London drove all the way to Wales too, and they all came to help him. This is part of my community, part of my power team, all the graduates of my course. A lot of them came together to help Ashley set up and stage his unit. And obviously there's no charge. You know, we're all peers here. I didn't charge, probably bought a pizza or something, exactly, I'd imagine. Yeah. Like, dinner and drinks is on you, like, but there's no charge for it. And, you know, many hands make light work. That's what we say here, collaboration over competition, man. Collaboration over competition. We're all glad to see each other do well, of course, and we lift each other up. A rising tide lifts all ships. So what I was thinking there, imagine if he'd have had to set that unit up by himself, it would have took a week, I'm gonna say, maybe 2. Staging is hard, man. If you buy a unit and you get offered staging, if you can afford it, I'd say go for it. Let a professional stage it, because if they've got experience, they're gonna know what to do. It's gonna be a lot quicker, it's gonna save you a lot of headache. Or if you can buy a furnished deal, even better. Because staging's hard, man. Staging's hard. And I feel like for an inexperienced person, it could take you like 10 days to 2 weeks. Staging being decorating the house fully, everything that needs doing, bringing the beds in, putting the artwork up, setting up the Wi-Fi, everything. So, you know, when like 10 people come and help you do that, it's obviously going to 10x the speed, 10x that shit. It's going to speed it up and help it go a lot faster. So that's a beautiful thing, man, to have the community like that. I mean, Shamar's just walked in. Shamar did my first ever course. And there's plenty of times I've been out the city like hosting courses in the Lake District on a fucking island, and had to call Shamar like, hey, shit, bro, I've got something on in Brum, can you do it? He'd like, yep, give me 30 minutes, boom, and goes and does it. And likewise, he knows if he needed me, I'll get it done. And that's the value of having a good community, man. Many hands make light work. Many hands make light work. Remember that saying. Okay, so for people who are starting off, maybe there's people at home who can't afford training. If that's you, by the way, and you can't afford training, reach out to Ash, man. He'll give you a hand, I'm sure he will. I've got Josh, Kian, Shamar, Liam behind the camera. These guys are all easy to find through my Insta or just by searching their name, or even me myself. If you call me and ask me a question, I'm not gonna go, you ain't a student, and put the phone down. I'm gonna fucking help you, because by adding value and helping people, it's a way to just not only just grow your name. That's a selfish thing. You know, you're allowed to do something for yourself, though. Of course, it grows your name and puts more good things out there. It also prevents people from fucking up, because it does make me feel a little bit sick every time I hear of someone who's done 6 months in property and then sacks it and just goes, oh, this ain't for me. It's just because you didn't know. It's like, why didn't I do this business 10 years ago? I didn't fucking know. I just didn't have the knowledge. I've got the knowledge. I'm not gonna do watch you walk into a hole when I could just tell you something and it could save that. I'm gonna give you the answer. Do you know what I mean? Not all the fucking answers, mind you, do you know what I mean? But I'll prevent you from being scammed. I'll help you do the DD if it's needed. I'll give you a few tips and advice if you're really struggling, you need some help. Give us a call, man. It's free to reach out. Like I said, Ashley, I know his phone's always on. Do you ever turn your phone off?
Never, no.
Never, neither do I. Just don't call me too early though, for fuck's sake. Yeah? Other than that, if you need us, we're there, man. Ash, how would you say you found, what have you done rather, to organise yourself with all the stuff you've got going on, editing, gym, the properties you manage, the sourcing and social life? How do you organise your time?
Well, I started focusing on my self-improvement at the beginning. So I focused on just going to the gym, getting that in 6 days a week, 7 days now. And then also journaling, doing my Duolingo every single morning. That's my step-by-step. Gym, Duolingo, journal, meal prep. Okay. Breakfast sorted, 9 a.m, get to work. So I'm just... His
whole vibe just changed, like just militant right now. I love that, bro, I love that. He's serious about this, fair play to you.
So you got to focus on the discipline, really, so on your own chores. So once you win the day, let's say, for yourself, then you get onto the finances. So I always get a win first in my personal self, my personal life, whatever it may be, go for a run, go to the gym. And then I get into the finances. And that momentum brings me to keep on doing more things.
Yeah, I see. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I've not been to the gym in a while, I'm not gonna lie to you. I might start doing that, bro, because I know it makes a lot of sense to do a little workout first, get the blood pumping, get you all charged up. I just have a coffee and 2 Red Bulls, bro, do you know what I mean? And that gets me going.
I feel like everyone should go to the gym.
We should all do that, bro, like you said.
You feel good, you look good, and you know, you do good things as well, you make good money.
It's an all-round win.
It's an all-round win. It's an all-round win.
And like you said, I like the way you put it there when you said it's a win for yourself first, for your personal life, you're setting yourself right. I've sort of just thrown myself all at business, all in. So I'm not going to pretend I've got all the answers for life, bro. I know a few things about property, you know what I mean? Well, to be honest, I think I know fucking everything there is to know about rent to rent and sourcing. But when it comes to like life and business and the balance and stuff, that we should all still be always learning. We're all students of life. And I think I just learned something from you there. That's probably something I should do of get into the gym a little bit. Luckily, I'm sitting down right now, you can't see me. But I've got a bit tubby, man. I used to be so fit. So I might take a leaf out of your book on that front, bro. Let me ask you, you know, it's been a bit of a whirlwind since February.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself now this time? And you're putting this on the internet, you know, so you better, whatever you say now, I want to hear some goals from you, and you better fucking achieve them between now and next year. What do you want? Where do you want to be? What are you going to have? Next time we see you, we'll do another interview in a year from now, bro. Yeah? We'll do another interview in a year. What are you going to be telling me next year?
See, so the rent to rent's all fun and that. But I want to scale the rent to rent, maybe get a hotel with like 10 units in it, and then also start my own BRR process, you know, flips. So I have that project going. But also what I really am passionate about is the editing, like I said at the beginning. So really pushing that business out there and seeing, you know, pushing the finances and see if I can actually make money from editing, or even more money that I can, and really just focusing and honing on that business, because that's where it's at for me personally. Rent to rent's good on that, but what I'm passionate about is the editing.
Your heart's in the editing, yeah?
It is. It's like I could sit down on my laptop for 12 hours learning about new tools, to doing this, doing that, and you know, just fly by. It's like gaming, because I used to love gaming back in the day, and that is what, you know, life is about, finding something that you enjoy doing, that you find pleasure in. So for me, it's the editing and the social media.
I like that, bro. We'll have to have a conversation off camera, because the old cogs are turning here. I've got a fantastic idea for you. I hope you'll agree it's fantastic. We'll see. There are other students I've had who started with me in property, and I've seen that their heart is in this other thing or that other thing, and I've advised them and got them going on that and literally steered them away from property. They're still making some money in it, but they've gone a bit of a different direction. There's no harm in that, do you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll have a conversation about that. I've got an idea, so we'll see. Hopefully, no, you absolutely will be seeing. What's your name of your editing company going to be?
AKC, I think.
AKC
Editing.
AKC Editing's a good name. If anyone's got anything coming to mind, let's see in the comments some clever names for editing company for Ash. No ChatGPT cheating either, imagination only. Listen, Ash, thanks for coming, man. And again, I'm really proud of all your success, bro. Thanks for coming down, man. Appreciate it, bro. I'm Kieran Connolly, and this is the mansion where we teach the Deal Sourcing Academy that I host. If you want to learn ways to invest in property, even starting with no money, this is the way. You need to be in this mansion here. Right now, there's 15 people in there learning how they're going to create financial freedom for them and their families. Now, some people are happy scrubbing the shit off the toilet in the service station on the M6. That's not me. You want to work a 9 to 5 and just admit you're going to be broke forever, just give up in life? Well, then crack the fuck on. If you want to make a fucking fortune and stop having to worry about the price of fucking eggs and gas and all that shit going on, you're about to come to fucking Barmain and Rolex with me, then you need to learn how to invest in property. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. There's a fucking fortune to be made in property, safe as houses. You need to get yourself here and see what it's all about.